anymore. I don't even know. I don't even know why I try anymore. I don't even know. You can't replace me. I'm awake, it's time to break free. I'm levitating. I don't even know why I try anymore. I don't even know.
Let's start the month of October off the right way, man. The WWE Draft is the one night the landscape changes. We are live, man! You know, I hope you all know why the WWE Draft is a thing. They love those ratings. Desperate for ratings. Did the WWE fix one of their major problems with their roster tonight on night one of the draft? I will go over every pick and tell you why it works and why it doesn't work. On Rampage, Bryan Danielson battles Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. And Jack Evans is now hairless, thanks to Orange Cassidy. I got your SmackDown news and rumors. I got your AEW news and rumors, all packed into one post show, man. The only post show you need on your Friday nights. Nobody's drafting off the script, man, because we are number one right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your SmackDown and AEW Rampage post show for October 1st, 2021. I am JD from New York, and this is the OTS venue. Thank you guys very much for joining me on your Friday nights. We have a lot to go over today. The WWE Draft, man. The WWE Draft is upon us. And apparently the landscape changes every time we have a draft. The last time we've had a draft, WWE was back in 2019. They were debuting on Fox. It didn't go as advertised. The landscape did not change. WWE barely did anything to promote said draft. WWE barely did anything to promote said brand split. WWE did nothing to promote the turmoil between Raw and SmackDown that ultimately leads to both brands battling it out at the Survivor Series. We didn't get it then, and we're not getting it this year. The landscape has not changed, ladies and gentlemen. The WWE Draft is nothing more than a ratings ploy to generate interest in a dying creative product. The WWE Draft is nothing more than a way to get all the E-drones to get excited about absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're going to go over the draft tonight. We're going to highlight all of the moves on why they made sense or why they didn't make sense or why I absolutely sit here dumbfounded over why Shit Row is now on the main roster. And I enjoy Hit Row. I enjoy what they've done in NXT. Or I should say, I've done what very little they've done in NXT. Yet, here we are with a group that was moved to SmackDown for a political reason. Not because it benefits Isaiah Swerve Scott. Not because it benefits Ashanti Theodonis. Not because it benefits B-Fab, who almost fucking killed herself on Tuesday night. And it certainly doesn't benefit $0. Because that's all he's fucking worth right now. Give me a break. WWE called up Hit Row for one very important reason, and it's not because they were so excited to get this foursome on SmackDown. We're going to go over that. We're going to have a nice little rant on that. WWE laid forth the draft rules before the show actually started. They were on their social media accounts going over the rules of the draft, hosted by Megan Morantz. Per WWE, half of the roster will be available to be drafted tonight on SmackDown. The other half being available to be drafted on Monday's episode of Raw. WWE mentioned NXT is in the ruling, but it was not specified how many picks would be made from the brand or which NXT superstars would be in the pool, some of which we saw tonight, including Shit Row and Austin Theory. WWE also revealed that the changes created by the draft after Friday and after Monday will not take effect until October 22nd, and that is the nights after WWE presents Crown Jewel. WWE is not going to put into effect the rules or the draft picks of tonight's and Monday's show until October 22nd, 2021. So let me get this straight. WWE has set forth these rules, yet you want to draft Charlotte Flair to SmackDown, and she's the Raw Women's Champion. I see somebody didn't think that one out. What makes you think Charlotte Flair is taking the Raw Women's Championship to SmackDown? I don't understand it. Now what you've done is back yourself into a corner, because one of two things are going to happen. Number one, WWE is going to have Charlotte Flair drop the title to somebody who clearly doesn't deserve the Raw Women's Championship, and there is nobody on that show that deserves the Raw Women's Championship. Don't tell me Shayna Baszler, all because she now looks cool after 2 weeks, does not make Shayna Baszler a champion. I wish. WWE has buried Shayna Baszler beyond repair, and she's only won one singles match this year since February. Not really a Raw Women's Champion. Or the second thing that they'll do, like we saw at the end of the show tonight with Charlotte coming down looking like God knows what. I don't know what the fuck. She legitimately looked like a goddamn fucking android tonight. She came down and attacked Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks after their WrestleMania rematch. Becky Lynch was on commentary, absolutely killing my mood about everything that was happening in the ring with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. And at the end of the show, Charlotte Flair holds up the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch gets on the table and holds up the SmackDown Women's Championship. Remember when WWE drafted the Street Profits and the New Day to opposite brands? The Street Profits were Raw Tag Team Champions, I believe. And then they got moved over to SmackDown. The New Day were SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They got drafted to Raw. Remember when we all pitched, hey, Bruce, let's merge the divisions, bro. Let's get these tag teams floating back between Raw and SmackDown. Remember that? You know, the tag team division that right now has, 6 teams between both shows? Yet nobody wants to fucking listen to me. Been saying this for the last 7 fucking years now. Remember that? They switched titles. We all thought that we were going to get a unification match. WWE had them in a backstage segment. Well, you guys are on this show. You guys are on that show. Why don't we just switch the titles? Just trade the titles. Street Profits gave the New Day the Raw Tag Team titles, and the New Day gave the Street Profits the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Remember that? That was WWE pretty much throwing up their fucking pens and papers in creative. We got nothing going on. We're a bunch of fucking morons. Let's just trade the championships. That's exactly what WWE is going to do. One of those two things. And neither one of them are very good options at all. So who made these rules? And I doubt that's the last time we see this come into effect. Because we still have Damian Priest or Shinsuke Nakamura able to be switched from Raw and SmackDown. The U.S. title can end up on SmackDown, and the IC title can end up on Monday Night Raw. So, WWE, at the end of the night, I'm a little bit more excited for SmackDown than I am Raw, because we all know exactly what the draft is going to do. Monday Night Raw will feel new and feel fresh for about 4 weeks. And then after 4 weeks, we'll start to get rematches and rematches and rematches, and WWE doesn't know what to do. Then the draft is pretty much useless on one side, and then SmackDown is still giving us some fresh shit. You got Roman Reigns having a new slew of opponents, and then that's it. By the end of the year, both of these shows will be right back to where they were before we took part in tonight's draft. And that's the God-honest truth. That's exactly what's going to happen. Because you know it's going to happen. It happened last year with the shakeup. It happened in 2019 with the first draft SmackDown debuted on Fox. If WWE could only go back to the 2016 era of SmackDown, we'd all be in a much happier place. SmackDown that was written by Ryan Ward, and Road Dogg was his second in command. Remember those days? SmackDown after the 2016 draft was fucking brilliant. Brilliant. It pretty much got shafted in the draft. Monday Night Raw got everything because it's a show back in the day. And SmackDown had a bunch of nobodies. SmackDown had a young Corbin, Becky Lynch, a young Alexa. Their tag team division consisted of Breezango, the Usos, Heath Slater and Rhino, American Alpha. Remember that? Those were the days, man. Why can't we go back to that? Dean Ambrose was on top. AJ Styles was on top. Why can't we go back to that? I wish. I wish, man. We're going to break down these draft picks. We're going to go over all of them one by one. And we're going to pretty much express our displeasure with some of them. Why some of them work, why some of them do not work. And it'll be a good night, man. On the AEW side of things, a very uneventful episode of Rampage. I'm really starting to not enjoy Rampage as much as I did when it first debuted. I think the appeal of Rampage has kind of worn thin. I think Rampage is a great 1 hour of television, but I feel like it's just half Dynamite and half dark. And I'm not really for the taped format. I'm not. If you're going to do wrestling, I need it to be live. I can't have it taped every week, man. This is one of the reasons why I never watched SmackDown when they were on UPN 9 here in New York. They were taped every single week, man. And I didn't enjoy it. It just comes off as a tape show. There's really nothing important. They'll give you a little nugget of information. They'll give you a little match here and there that is really good, like they did tonight with Bryan Danielson and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. Very good opening match, but that's what you would expect with somebody the caliber of Bryan Danielson in the ring. And Nick Jackson, both Nick and Matt Jackson, are great professional wrestlers. So I expected a lot out of that match. Then we got the women's match. It's always great to see Thunder Rosa. Always great to see Thunder Rosa. Her theme music hits. You just get fucking pumped. You get her in the ring. The crowd loves the shit out of her. You got Jade Cargill. You got Nyla Rose triple threat match. It wasn't bad, but I'm just not into Jade Cargill or Nyla Rose at all. And then we got the main event. Orange Cassidy and Jack Evans, hair versus hair match. Don't know why this main evented over the Bryan Danielson and Nick Jackson match, but here we are. AEW's got a small problem with Rampage, man. I'm not really enjoying it. It's not newsworthy. It really isn't. And tonight was more of the same. It truly is AEW's B show, but I don't think we're going to get the true essence of Rampage until we move this show off of Friday night, move it out of the 10 p.m. time slot, and move it into a more normal time slot, Saturday, Thursday, 8 p.m., and it can go live. And it could really be their version of SmackDown. Because right now, Dynamite is what Monday Night Raw used to be for WWE. It really needs to get back to being the B show and live and really being their second show. Because right now, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really feeling it whatsoever. Guys, we're going to go over all that. We may do a little bit of a mock draft. Give you some of the names that I would absolutely have switched brands. Who from NXT I'm calling up. And we're going to have fun tonight, man. Let's start October off the right way. We had September and we had August. End up being the two greatest months in the history of Off the Script. So if you guys want to get the ball rolling, man, all you got to do is a couple of things. Number one, hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys do that so you are informed every single time I go live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for all of the weekly shows. Number two, get those super chats in. You guys absolutely killed it all month for September with the super chats. Let's start the month off right. If you guys have anything to add, if you guys want to ask me anything at the end of the show, we're going to pop open some cold beverages and we're going to sit down, listen to some good music, hang out in the venue, and go over the super chats, or what I like to call the cold beverages at the bar. Make sure you guys get them on in. Last call, you will know when it happens, man. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. All you guys got to do is follow me on social media at JD from NY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button, like I said. Turn on the bell. Hit the thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes on the live stream chat. We got 500 right now. Let's get those likes up, man. 1,000. We got 1,800 in the venue for a Friday night. Let's hit those thumbs up and get it up to 1,000. No questions asked. If you guys want to support the show, there are a couple of ways to do that. Number one, you guys can do patreon.com. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Go get your Are We Live t-shirts. Sign up. You get a t-shirt. If you guys use the annual subscription, the highest tier, you not only get the t-shirt, but you get a dugout mug with the Off the Script insignia logo on it. It is awesome. Go and check that out. That's patreon.com/JD from NY206. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. We got a ton of content on there that you might not know is even there because YouTube doesn't filter all the videos to your sub boxes. So if you guys want all of the videos, go to the homepage Everything you need is right there on the homepage. If you missed the Monday Night Raw review, if you missed the Dynamite review with Jesse and I, and Off the Script, uploaded tomorrow, 5 p.m., episode 393. It was recorded earlier this afternoon. It is a banger episode as always. We do a complete mock draft. And I did everything before night one took place tonight. And some of the shit I nailed absolutely perfectly, man. Can't wait till you guys listen to that tomorrow on the podcast. 5 p.m. episode 393. And the podcast tonight is sponsored by my boys over at Manscaped. Manscaped.com. And you guys are going to use code SCRIPT20 at checkout. And you're going to get 20% off plus free shipping, man. It is the fall season. Make sure your pumpkins are carved correctly. And make sure you guys walk into the fall feeling absolutely fantastic. Manscaped, the leaders in male grooming, are supporting and sponsoring the podcast tonight. That's manscaped.com. And use code SCRIPT20 to save 20% off. We will talk about my boys over at Manscaped a little bit later on in the show. Before we get into the SmackDown stuff, guys, something of great importance. I need everybody in the chat, because I know he's going to be watching or listening eventually. Don't know what he's doing tonight, but I need everybody to throw the prayer emojis up for my boy Big Hodge. Jason, you guys know Big Hodge. Hodge and I worked on Critiques and Connoisseurs, and we're going to be back at some point this year with Season 2. And we're going to switch up the game, man. It's going to be beautiful. But Jason right now is going through a little bit of a difficult time, and he's like me. When we go through difficult times, we kind of deal with it in our own way, away from everybody, and we just kind of seclude ourselves away from everything. And we deal with it in our own way. And he's going through a difficult time right now. Something happened in his family. Not going to reveal what. But I want to send my thoughts and prayers and my love out to Jason. And I want everybody in the Off the Script family to do the same thing. Throw up those prayer emojis for my boy Big Hodge. Jason, we love him. And he's going to get back on his feet. And better than ever, man. Better than ever. I know we will. Because he's just like me, man. We deal with this shit and we come back stronger every single time. You got a ton of people in here, buddy, that love you. I love you. Everybody loves you. And we're here for you, man, anytime. SmackDown tonight, guys. SmackDown tonight, the draft. We got night one of the draft happening. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce walked out onto the stage. And Stephanie McMahon was not there to do the ceremonies for the draft like she usually does. So we got Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. Pearce said the wrestlers of Raw and SmackDown were all present. So the entire roster of Raw and the entire roster of SmackDown were backstage at tonight's show in Baltimore. So SmackDown has got the first pick. Now, WWE did not clue us in on why SmackDown got the first pick. This is what boggles my mind, man. And this is what angers me. We get no explanation on anything, and then nobody even bothers to ask a question. So I'm going to ask the question for everybody that's been wondering why SmackDown got the first pick. Is it because night one of the draft is happening on SmackDown? Is that why? And if that's the case, why does it go to SmackDown, and what have they done? Is it because it's the number one show in WWE right now compared to Monday Night Raw? That's why they got the draft pick? What happens on Monday? Does SmackDown still get the number one draft pick? Or do we go to Monday Night Raw getting the number one draft pick because it's happening on their show? Night two is happening on their show. None of this is explained. This is what pisses me off. And nobody will ask these questions because everybody is a fucking feeble-minded fool. This is why I stand head and shoulders above everybody in the community. Nobody asks any fucking questions. And when you don't ask questions, I just suspect you just accept. You accept mediocrity. If WWE played up the draft the way that they should, and played up the brand split and played up the Raw versus SmackDown competition the way that they should. The Survivor Series should be the one show, the one night of the year that gives ultimate advantage for either brand on this night. If WWE really wanted to go through and have this competition between Raw and SmackDown and really make the draft that much more important and raise the stakes, per se, why don't we get a Raw versus SmackDown one-on-one match that determines the number one draft pick in the draft? And it's a member of the roster chosen by the roster itself. So, for example, you would get a collective of wrestlers backstage, and you would appoint one man that they think is best for the job at Survivor Series to get the job done, to get them the number one draft pick and get them the advantage over SmackDown, meaning they get number one on Friday and number one on Monday. Then the same thing happens for SmackDown. They choose the best man for the job. And then you have a Raw versus SmackDown match at Survivor Series with the draft pick on the line. The number one draft pick on the line for both nights is on the line in that match. Why don't we do that? Why do we go into this thing already unprepared? That's what I want to know. Does nobody think? Does nobody have fun? Does nobody really think out what should be done in regards to the draft? This is why I say it's nothing more than a ratings grab. It's a cheap attempt at ratings. It's a cheap attempt at interest in a dying creative product. There's no fun surrounding the draft or the brand split or the competition between Raw and SmackDown. We are supposed to just fabricate this in our own mind. And then when WWE foolishly wants us to pay attention to the Survivor Series and somehow manufacture some fucking interest for the Survivor Series that clearly isn't there, how do you expect me to fucking care about the Survivor Series when the non-existent war between Raw and SmackDown is just that, non-existent? I don't really get it. WWE needs to do a much better job at the Raw and SmackDown brand versus brand competition. I've said this time and time and time again, man. Even in the Survivor Series, it could mean a whole lot for the duration of their pay-per-view calendar. You should have events, matches, situations that take place during the year that really add to the overall Raw versus SmackDown vibe. So when you get to Survivor Series in November, you could look back at the calendar year and say, wow, man, Raw won the Royal Rumble. Raw won the Money in the Bank. SmackDown won the King of the Ring. Right? And then WWE can give us this friendly competition with Monday Night Raw going into the Survivor Series, per se, with a huge advantage over SmackDown in November. They're the odds-on favorite to walk out of Survivor Series. Number one draft pick should be on the line. WWE should really have the Raw and SmackDown men's and women's Survivor Series matches mean something. Have qualifying matches, to get on the teams. The winners of those matches get placed in a ladder match at TLC. 5 men, 5 women, 2 ladder matches, 2 championship opportunities on the line. If Monday Night Raw wins the Survivor Series match, then the Monday Night Raw competitors wrestle in a ladder match for the WWE Championship opportunity to happen at the Royal Rumble. If the SmackDown women win the Survivor Series match, then they battle in a ladder match to get the opportunity at whoever the women's champion is at the Royal Rumble. And then you can do the Royal Rumble match. Then you have the Final 4, the Final 8, the Final 10, the Final 12, whatever you want to make it. You come up with a situation where the last remaining members of that Royal Rumble match, depending on who they are, they either get a bye, get into the chamber, the Elimination Chamber, and don't have to go through qualifying matches. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. If SmackDown wins the Royal Rumble, then the Elimination Chamber is for the number one contendership for the WWE Championship. It's very simple, and vice versa. If the Royal Rumble wins or the brand wins the Royal Rumble, then they are the main event of WrestleMania. Clearly. Right? If Monday Night Raw wins the Royal Rumble, main event of WrestleMania is Monday Night Raw on night 2. Then you go into Money in the Bank, qualifying matches for Money in the Bank, 4 on one side, 4 on the other. They usually do 8 anyway, right? Then you have a Raw versus SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. There's no reason for a Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. There's no reason for a SmackDown ladder match. There's no reason for the women to have their own ladder match. What, 3 or 4 ladder matches in a fucking night? Combined the brands. 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown. The winner is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder for his brand. Same thing goes to this Queen's Crown tournament and the King of the Ring tournament. 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown on both sides. The winners of those, depending on who they are and what brands they are, challenge for their brand championship. Now, WWE is doing the finals at Saudi Arabia's Crown Jewel. I would not do that. I would not do that. I would actually have the Queen's Crown tournament and the King of the Ring finals. Both of these tournaments finals at Survivor Series, because you should have it be a Raw versus SmackDown final, because it's ultimately going to play into the Raw versus SmackDown theme. And WWE, if they did it at Survivor Series, they wouldn't have to rush through 2 fucking tournaments in 2 weeks just because ratings. Because that's exactly why these things are now on the show. And like usual, WWE is going to half-ass it like they usually do. No effort like they usually do. Another reason why I don't like the draft happening before Survivor Series is one very logical reason that a lot of people may look at as me nitpicking, but I'm not. If AJ Styles is on Monday Night Raw for the entire year, right? Say he's on Monday Night Raw for the entire year, and you can go back to the last shakeup, and he did not switch brands. He's on Monday Night Raw for 2 years, right? And then all of a sudden he gets drafted to SmackDown. And then he's placed on the SmackDown Men's Survivor Series team. How am I supposed to look at AJ Styles and say, man, how is he going to be really loyal to SmackDown when he was on Monday Night Raw for the last 2 years? This is why I don't think having a draft in the middle of October really makes sense for WWE. Theoretically, and a lot more logically, WWE should save the draft for the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. That is usually the reset of WWE storylines. That is the hard reset for WWE. But now we got to go through season premieres. What the fuck is a season premiere for WWE? The draft is taking place tonight. And then the draft picks don't go into effect 3 weeks from now. So how is next week a fucking season premiere? You're having a King of the Ring and a Queen's Crown tournament, and all of a sudden that's a fucking season premiere? The illogical nonsense that exists in this company is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Why am I sitting here in front of a goddamn fucking green screen with some fancy looking fucking bar that I'd sit at any day of the week behind me in my office, booking this show better than anybody on the fucking writing team, including Vince and including Bruce Pritchard? Why? Why did I just come up with all these concepts and ideas off the top of my head, not even looking at my fucking notes? This is shit that I've spewed to you week after week after week for years, and none of it exists at all. None of it. Kinda sad, ain't it? It really does make me upset. Now, Roman Reigns was the number 1 draft pick for SmackDown in the draft. Clearly, he's the hottest thing in all of pro wrestling. Roman Reigns has been, will be, until he drops that championship. And when he drops that championship, it's going to be a mega, mega moment. Hopefully. Roman Reigns undoubtedly should be the number 1 draft pick. He's not going anywhere. He was never going to end up on Monday Night Raw. If anybody thought Roman Reigns was going to end up on Monday Night Raw, they are absolutely kidding themselves. Fox would never let Roman Reigns go. Ever. And that's another problem. Too many network executives have final say in what they want. What about what we want? What about what the fans fucking want? You're listening to the goddamn fucking networks. They don't know what to fucking do if I ask them to walk my fucking dog. You're going to believe these fucking people? You're going to ask these people advice? They want something, it's got to happen? That's another problem with the product. Too many Fox and NBC Universal execs getting in the way. Tugging WWE at both ends of the stick. Can't be. It can't be. Roman Reigns, number 1. Big E, number 2. He goes and stays on Monday Night Raw. Excellent. That's the way it should be. Then we get Charlotte coming over to SmackDown from Monday Night Raw. And Bianca Belair moved from SmackDown to Monday Night Raw. Charlotte moving to SmackDown from Raw with the Raw Women's Championship after WWE told us that this draft pick, or these draft picks, don't take effect until October 22nd is absolutely ridiculous. So WWE gave us these rules and then is automatically booking a situation that is very predictable because clearly Charlotte Flair cannot take the Raw Women's Championship to SmackDown. I don't think that WWE is going to have Charlotte Flair drop a championship. My honest opinion is they'll do the Street Profits and New Day switch the titles. Becky becomes the Raw Women's Championship or the Raw Women's Champion because she never lost it. So she gets the title back that she never lost, that she still is crying about today. And then Charlotte will get the SmackDown Women's Championship, and neither one of them will be beaten. That's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. Mark my words. If they don't, I'd be shocked. So Roman Reigns made his way down to the ring. That's round 1 of the draft. Roman Reigns made his entrance. Got a video package on the Extreme Rules circus with Finn Balor. WWE had Finn Balor fall off the top rope after resurrecting from the dead to come back and try and beat Roman Reigns, only to fall because God himself was not a fan of the demon. WWE clearly had somebody cut the ropes. I believe there was video out there. Somebody took video of a WWE production hand cutting the ropes, Balor falling, and then getting pinned by Roman. So Roman Reigns is in there, and he said, as the back of our shirt says, we are the ones, because I am number 1. He told Baltimore to acknowledge him. He got some cheers, and he got some Roman chants. Heyman said that wasn't good enough for our tribal chief. That doesn't surprise me, coming from a room full of Baltimoreans. I love that line. He said before Extreme Rules, he had to say, the undefeated demon. He said, you can't say that anymore because he ran into an exorcist named Roman Reigns. He said, like a shark that circles around the island of relevancy, this shark only swims looking forward. He mentioned Crown Jewel. He said, it won't be held in Suplex City, but rather Brock Lesnar will face the Suplexorcist. I like Paul Heyman, man. He's got a play on words. He makes everything just sound fucking epic, man. He really does. Lesnar's music then played on the PA. Brock's entrance was fucking awesome. He came down. He had the orange and red lighting. Brock Lesnar's name on the Titantron. He comes down with his cut-off fucking flannel shirt. He's got his Viking-esque beard and hair. He's got this pyro going off on the side of the stage. He comes down. It's like a fucking epic entrance for Brock Lesnar. So he comes down, and Heyman's face went from really hyping up Roman Reigns to just shock and dismay when he seen Brock Lesnar. Lesnar came out. He marched around in the ring. Cole says it could be one of the greatest matches in WWE history. I don't know, man. I'm not going to say it may be one of the greatest matches in WWE history, but I'll tell you what. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar have one of my favorite main events in WrestleMania history at WrestleMania 31. They do. I thought that was fucking awesome. That match was awesome. The matches that followed that they had were complete shit because of where Roman Reigns was and how WWE was forcing Roman Reigns down our throats. But now, I think where Roman Reigns is at now and Brock Lesnar being the way that he is always, we may be looking at one epic fucking match. I hate that this match is happening in Saudi Arabia. I fucking hate it. It's not going to get the proper feel. It's not going to have the proper crowd behind it. I just hate the fact that this match is happening in Saudi Arabia. I do. So, he says they've been two of the most dominant champions in WWE history, which is correct, factually correct. And Lesnar got up in Reigns' face, had some words. Reigns did not back away. Reigns did not act scared. Lesnar bounced up and down, trying to just strike fear into Roman Reigns. And then Reigns started to punch Lesnar. Lesnar gave him 2 suplexes in response. The Usos ran down. Lesnar clotheslined both of them. Lesnar stared at Reigns, who backed away. Lesnar gave Jimmy an F5. Reigns told him not to touch Jay. Don't you put your hands on Jay. So Lesnar obviously lifted Jay up and gave him an F5 as well. This was a great fucking segment, man. This was a great segment. The crowd was white hot for this. Excellent open to SmackDown. I am very much excited about the Lesnar and Roman Reigns match just because of the flip-flopping of roles here. Lesnar's a babyface. Reigns is a heel. You got the X Factor and Paul Heyman. You don't know where his allegiance is going to lie. Is he going to turn on Roman? Is he going to rejoin Brock? Is he going to turn on Brock and stay with the tribal chief? There's a lot to really sink your teeth into. And I said this from day one, man. Do not ever doubt Paul Heyman. Don't. And a lot of you people are growing bored of Roman Reigns. I think we're at a point right now that you can honestly say, do not doubt Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has been money in every situation that he's been in. Every opponent he's been in the ring with has been money. He's been the gold standard. And this is coming from somebody that has vilified Roman Reigns for the last 5.5 years. This is great. This is exactly what we wanted when this feud was rumored to take place. Can't wait to see what they do. Outside of that, I'm mildly interested in Sasha and Bianca and Becky, but being that Bianca is going to Monday Night Raw, I don't really see that match having any real value at all, which is another reason why WWE should not have made that ruling in the draft that the draft picks don't take effect until October 23rd. It kind of makes everything a little bit more predictable. I don't like it. Kayla Braxton is getting ready to interview Charlotte Flair backstage. So she interviewed Charlotte. She introduced her as the newest member of the SmackDown roster and asked her to congratulate her on being the first overall pick of the Raw Women's Champion, or of the women's division. Charlotte wanted congratulations. She said, Fox knows who the real deal is. Long live the Queen. It was reported that Fox had personally requested Charlotte Flair to be on SmackDown. That's why Charlotte Flair got moved. If Fox did not request Charlotte Flair was not going anywhere. She would have stayed put on Monday Night Raw. Fox had requested Charlotte Flair on SmackDown. We got Happy Corbin and Kevin Owens, and we got Riddick Moss, the newest addition to Happy Corbin's act. He is now Madcap Moss. In fact, I thought it was Mad Cat Moss when I first heard it. I'm like, that's not bad. Mad Cat Moss, that's a nice name. It's a cool name. But it's Madcap Moss, which makes it all that much more stupid and lame. So good job, WWE. Good job. You had one chance to make this sound cool, and you fucked it up. Corbin said Moss keeps him happy by telling jokes. He did not tell any jokes. He tried to, but it came out lame. They obnoxiously laughed together, thinking that they were both funny. I don't know what the laughing gig is. This is their gimmick now. They laugh. They're jokesters. Baron Corbin and Madcap Moss laugh like I usually laugh, making fun of WWE Creative on Monday night. Madcap Moss is his name. M-A-D-C-A-P. I thought it was Mad Cat Moss. But I guess we got too many cats on the roster with Bearcat Keith Lee. Can't have more than one cat, folks. Can't have more than one cat. People may be confused. They may get a little turned off with Bearcat and Mad Cat. That's the way Vince McMahon thinks. Kevin Owens, Happy Corbin. KO landed a running cannonball for a 2 count after being on some defense from Happy Corbin's offense. Moss kept interfering. He actually tripped KO on the ring apron, so Corbin took advantage. And Corbin landed an end of days that Michael Cole is now calling Happy Days. Still one of the best finishers, if not the best finisher in WWE, now with the most lame name ever. Happy Days. We're going to get the Fonz to come out. We're going to get Henry Winkler to come out and manage Happy Corbin. Hey! Right? I'm the Fonz. Give me a break. Kevin Owens loses in 7 minutes. I don't know who thinks this Corbin gimmick is going upwards. I actually think, and listen, you guys have me on quote saying that Happy Corbin may be the best version of Corbin that we've seen so far. Because what we're getting is a little bit of who he really is. I'm sure he likes to spend money. The whole watch gig is really him. He's got a fine collection of watches from Hublot and Panerai and Rolex and Patek Philippe. Guy knows his watches. I can appreciate that. I used to sell them before this YouTube thing. But Baron Corbin is going this way with this Madcap Moss character. They're so obnoxious, and it's not in a good way. It really is not in a good way. At one point, WWE thought, hey, let's change his gimmick up. We need to do something different. I don't know who in WWE thinks that this is the natural progression, the best progression for the Baron Corbin character. Not the way we see it now. This is mid-card for life with what they're doing and how they're acting. It will never, ever get over on a main event level. It's supposed to keep him in the mid-card. It's not supposed to elevate him. Nothing about what he's doing is going to elevate him to the main event. Nothing. On the flip side, Kevin Owens. I don't know if it's just me, man. I don't know if it's just me. But does it feel like Kevin Owens is getting the Jon Moxley treatment on his way out of WWE? Or am I just overthinking, being overly analytical and overcritical about Kevin Owens? I feel like WWE has given this guy absolutely nothing to do, and they haven't given him much to do anyway. But ever since the rumors of his contract being up in January came out and that news broke, Kevin Owens hasn't done shit on this show. I feel like he's being jobbed out. I really do. And I hope that's not the case. And I haven't been excited for a WWE superstar to leave the company so quick since Adam Cole, which was literally a month ago. If Kevin Owens walks into AEW, I'm going to be super fucking pumped, man. I really am. Kevin Owens, again, nobody's a difference maker. CM Punk is the only bit of difference maker. That's it. CM Punk did exactly what his status was going to do for AEW. He worked as advertised, CM Punk. Kevin Owens is not going to be an astronomical game changer. But if Kevin Owens walks into AEW, you better fucking believe that you're going to get the best Kevin Owens that you've ever gotten. Or I should say, Kevin Steen. They're doing jack shit with this guy, man. Feuds with Sami Zayn, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Happy Corbin. This guy deserves a hell of a lot better, man. And I said it then, I'm going to say it now. You had this guy main event against Roman Reigns. 3 straight matches. 1 at TLC, 1 on SmackDown, and 1 at the Royal Rumble. And you failed to push this guy in a main event spot. He was the main event guy in my eyes before that Roman Reigns match. The Roman Reigns match only confirmed what I already knew about Kevin Owens. And I said it then. This is WWE's chance to take everything they did to Kevin Owens and elevate him to the top. And what did they do? They fucking dropped the ball once again because they don't fucking care. Seems like he's getting jobbed out, man. Job him out. You want any chance of saving this guy and getting him to come back to your company? You better fucking cut your shit out now. Because Kevin Owens, he spent how many years at WWE? He's made his money. Now he sees his friends doing elite type things, changing the fucking world. AEW's creating a world that is for the professional wrestler. Let me tell you something, man. Kevin Owens is professional fucking wrestling. You don't want to lose him. You don't want to lose him. I said this 3 weeks ago on Off the Script. If Kevin Owens leaves WWE, it's going to be a ripple effect on that roster. When Kevin Owens leaves and goes to AEW and you see him as Kevin Steen at fucking Revolution or Double or Nothing, it's going to set off a trigger effect, man. Who's to say Ricochet doesn't walk out after that? Who's to say Sami Zayn doesn't walk out after Ricochet? Who's to say Finn Balor doesn't walk out and leave WWE? But WWE has no value in any of these men. They don't have value in Owens, Ricochet, Zayn, or Balor. WWE wants to rewrite what they've built upon for the last 5 to 6 years. Out with the midgets and in with the Von Wagners. And in with the Odyssey Jones. And in with the Braun Breakers. These are the guys that they want. These are the guys that they want. Gable Steveson, Parker Bordeaux. These are the types of guys that they want. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. We got Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville back out. They announced the round 2 draft picks. Deville reminded everyone that only half the roster was available to draft tonight. Meanwhile, WWE said in the open of the show that all hands were on deck. Raw and SmackDown were here on the show. I guess everybody had to be there because even the roster did not know if they were being drafted or not. So, round 2, Drew McIntyre is drafted to SmackDown. He's moving over from Monday Night Raw. This is an excellent move. There was absolutely nothing for Drew McIntyre to do on Monday Night Raw. He's done the Lashley thing. He's done pretty much everything you need him to do. He's done the Keith Lee thing. He's done the Damian Priest thing. He's done the Sheamus thing. He's done legitimately everything you could ask of him to do. And now he is being set up to put Roman Reigns over on yet another pedestal. And that's the role he's going to be given. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns is an inevitability. If it happens this year, it happens this year. If WWE wants to hold it, it could absolutely be a WrestleMania match in April. But I know that WWE wants Dwayne, and they want The Rock back, and they want to do Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania. If that doesn't happen, then Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns could inevitably be your WrestleMania main event for the Universal Championship. And Roman Reigns is going to run through Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is not the guy to beat Roman Reigns. Don't get this confused. Do not start thinking fantasy-like booking. Oh, Drew McIntyre could be the one to take down Roman Reigns. No. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Drew McIntyre to SmackDown. Rated RK Bro is staying on Raw. I like this move. In fact, I think RK Bro is probably the best thing on Monday Night Raw. I like this move. Now, what I would have done, because they're Raw Tag Team Champions, is probably keep them. But what I'm thinking of is long-term. What if Matt Riddle and Randy Orton break up? Is Matt Riddle going to be the one to be catapulted into the main event scene like we all expect? I certainly hope so. Now, who's the champion when Matt Riddle is a singles guy and he beats Randy Orton when Rated RK Bro inevitably breaks up? I don't know. Could be a heel. Could be Big E still. I don't know. Could be Karrion Kross at that point. Matt Riddle is certainly being groomed, or at least should be, for a WWE Championship run, no matter who the champion is. So whether it's Raw or SmackDown, I don't mind what brand he's on. I just hope WWE does the right thing and builds him as a next level main event guy. That's what they need to do with Matt Riddle. So Rated RK Bro is staying on Monday Night Raw. The New Day is back on SmackDown, which makes no sense at all. WWE once again broke up the New Day as Big E is on Monday Night Raw as the WWE Champion, and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are now on SmackDown. Why did we break up the New Day? I don't get it. Additionally, let's go back to Drew McIntyre. At the end of Monday Night Raw, Drew McIntyre, he challenged Big E for the WWE Championship, pulled out Angela, his sword, and pointed it at Big E. Why do you do that ending at the end of Monday Night Raw knowing that Drew McIntyre is going to SmackDown? Or was it one of those situations where WWE didn't know what the draft was going to end up like on Monday and came up with everything on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? But they booked something completely different on Monday. The New Day is back on SmackDown, and it doesn't make any sense at all. They should have stayed on Raw. I don't like that move. The New Day should be together. Big E's already the WWE champion. So why break them up? They're better together than they are separated. Doesn't make any sense to me. Rated RK Bro to Raw. New Day to SmackDown. And then DeVille finally revealed the final pick in round 2. Edge is going back to Raw. Edge is on Raw. Edge was originally a Monday Night Raw guy. So he's back on the original brand that he came in on. I don't mind that at all. Edge, I actually predicted on tomorrow's podcast, ends up on Monday Night Raw. If you really build a main event scene on Monday Night Raw that can get people excited, Big E, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, Finn Balor, I think, is moving to Monday Night Raw as well. I think Balor gets drafted to Raw. Edge, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Matt Riddle. You can have a lot of great matches on Monday Night Raw. Really a lot of great matches for that main event scene. This is what I predicted with Adam Cole. If WWE brought up Adam Cole, build the brand around him and give him guys like a Riddle and a Styles and a Balor and an Edge and a Keith Lee. Seems like WWE is finally getting on board with building a nice, solid main event scene that mixes babyface and heels nicely together. Edge going to Monday Night Raw is great. I don't have any problem with that at all. Going back to the New Day thing on SmackDown, WWE, I don't know what they could possibly do. Maybe they broker some kind of deal. Maybe the Usos, and I'll talk about this at the end of the show because it really got me wondering what WWE has planned. They really focused in on Paul Heyman showing up on Monday Night Raw and Reigns wanting Heyman to really promise him that the Usos would end up on SmackDown. Now, I don't know what that means, but it could play into a nice little situation where the Usos do get drafted to Monday Night Raw with the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and Roman Reigns has to pull strings to trade the New Day back over to Monday Night Raw from SmackDown and bring the Usos back over to SmackDown and be in the bloodline with Roman. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. It got my mind wandering a little bit when I seen that segment with Paul Heyman, the Usos, and Roman Reigns in their locker room. Maybe Paul Heyman can't get the job done, and Roman Reigns brokers a deal between Raw and SmackDown to facilitate a trade with the already newly acquired New Day, sending them back to Monday Night Raw for the Usos coming back over to SmackDown. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Kayla Braxton interviewed Drew McIntyre. He had his sword Angela with him. She said he led the company through some very uncertain times and was WWE's champion twice. She asked, what his mindset is being on SmackDown. He says he's very excited. He said he's thinking a lot about things. He says he's proud of what he was able to achieve on Raw. He said he started on SmackDown in his early 20s, so immature and full of dreams. The chosen one. He said it didn't work out, and he's always had unfinished business. He says he's going to flip the table on the bloodline. He says his goal is very simple. He pointed his sword at the camera and declared he wants Roman Reigns and the Universal Championship. I like it. So we'll see what happens with Drew McIntyre. Inevitably, we're getting the Reigns and McIntyre match that we got back at Survivor Series last year. And if that match was any indication about what those two guys can do, and that was in an empty Thunderdome, you can imagine what they do at a bigger show with an actual crowd in attendance. Edge. He came out to the ring. He was here to acknowledge Seth Rollins and his comments over the last couple of weeks since the quote-unquote injury and Edge going out on a gurney. This was after their match at the Madison Square Garden SmackDown. So we saw highlights of Seth Rollins' promo last week declaring Edge would appear on SmackDown tonight and admit he's the man responsible for ending his career or else he'll beat it out of him in front of his wife and his kids. So he said it just dawned on him that he's the only wrestler who actually was on the first episode of SmackDown that's actually on the roster right now. He said SmackDown has always felt like home, but he's excited to be drafted to Raw. Some fans booed in attendance, and rightfully so. Monday Night Raw is terrible. He said he's looking forward to a whole new list of opponents. Edge said Rollins knows he's not 100% and isn't cleared yet. He said Seth also knows he's the type of man who has to answer a challenge. He said he won't admit that Seth is better than him, so he challenged him to extract those words from his face. Seth showed up on the big screen and started laughing. He said he's impressed that he actually showed up on SmackDown. He said he's not really saying the things he needs to say to him, such as announcing his retirement or telling the world that he's not Edge light, nor is he answering his challenge. He says he doesn't understand a word that comes out of his mouth ever. Seth then revealed that he's not at SmackDown this week, but the camera, I guess he hired a cameraman. I don't know what Seth Rollins would be doing with a cameraman at the front of Edge's home. So the camera panned back, and we look at the front of the house, and there's a sign on the front of the house, and it says Copeland, which is Edge's last name, Adam Copeland. So Seth Rollins is at the actual home of Adam Copeland. He's not at SmackDown. He facilitated a bait and switch. He told Edge to come to SmackDown, and Seth Rollins showed up somewhere in North Carolina, where Edge lives, I believe, and he's at this guy's front door. So the door was unlocked. Seth Rollins walks in. He's calling for Beth Phoenix to come out. He walked into their house. He says he knows why they live in the middle of nowhere, but you should still lock your doors at night. Made me wonder, why was the door unlocked? Maybe Edge left a key underneath the front door mat. Maybe he left the key behind a rock somewhere on the outside. Maybe he left it in the mailbox, and Seth knew exactly where it was. I don't know. The door was just open. So Seth walked into their kitchen. He throws his jacket onto the kitchen counter. Very beautiful home. Got a mountain-esque vibe to it. A lot of wood panels, wooden table, wooden floors. It's nice. It's like a log cabin. Very nicely done. So he walks into the kitchen, throws his jacket on the kitchen counter. He opens the refrigerator, pulls out a bottle of orange juice. I prefer my orange juice with no pulp in it, by the way. Fun fact. JD doesn't like pulp. So he gets OJ and an apple. Rollins got to keep a good physique, man. He's got to keep up with he's got to be Mr. Becky Lynch to keep up with his wife. She looks fantastic. So orange juice and an apple it is. He sat at the table, and there was some kids' artwork hanging on the wall. He's like, oh, isn't that cute? Put his feet up on the table. He noticed the kids' art. He said, it's truly awkward, and they won't have a future in art. So he pretty much shit on the children's drawings. He danced his way into the lounge area. Walking by the front door, he closed the front door. He discovered backpacks behind the door, hanging there on the wall. The kids' backpacks getting ready for school. Obviously, Seth laughed at this. And then he said, ha, lucky, lucky man. Then he walked into the den area, the lounge area. He noticed a photo of their family above a fireplace. He said, their daughters are gorgeous. He said, I see that they get their looks from their mother, and thankfully not from you. So Seth laid back in the chair that was there in the den, made himself very comfortable. He turned on the fireplace with the remote control that was on the table. He said, the home is so cozy, he could stay there all night. And he was lounging in the chair in front of the fireplace. It must have been chilly in North Carolina. Then they cut to Edge, and he runs from the ring, up the ramp, and into the back. Nobody knew why he was running. They were in Baltimore. He's in North Carolina. He's not going to get there anytime soon. Seth can do a lot of damage in the time that it's going to take Edge to get back home. But he runs back into the locker room, and he's on the phone with Beth Phoenix. He's on the phone with Beth Phoenix, and he says something to Beth about staying at her brother's house. Do not go anywhere. Stay there when you get there. Seth is in the house. And he says, I'm going to call so-and-so to go over to the house and go take care of this. He mentioned two names. He mentioned Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood by their real names on SmackDown tonight. And he said that he's going to send them to their house. That was very bizarre that he mentioned them by name, but nobody really is going to know. Anybody that's watching that tonight is not going to really know and associate with what Edge said and correlate that with it being FTR. He legitimately called out FTR tonight to go over to the house, and he called them by their real names. Now, the reason why that was done is I believe when Edge was actually coming back and FTR, the Revival, were in WWE, I do believe I read a report where they trained Edge in the ring for him to get ring ready for his comeback. And I believe they actually don't live that far from each other. So it was a nice kind of homage to his relationship with both guys in FTR. Excellent segment. I thought this was fantastic, man. You know, I was very hard on Seth Rollins, and rightfully so. And it wasn't because of anything that he was doing. He was only doing what he was asked to do. They ruined him, but WWE did him no favors. He went through these gimmicks. He went from the white-hot babyface to a heel. Then he went to the Messiah. Then he stood at the Messiah level, and it didn't really go anywhere. And now he's like the king of drip. And he's just bouncing in and out of like this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde-like gimmick. He's like a fucking psychopath. Rollins may be doing some of the best work of his career right now with Edge. I loved everything about this, man. I can't even begin to tell you how I love a good home invasion when it makes sense. I felt like WWE was running out of steam with this storyline, but this really took it to a next level, man. Now it's personal. And that is a great way for Rollins to just get hated fucking reactions, heat on him, because he invaded somebody else's home and is trying to infiltrate another man's home and tear down his family, threatening his family. Now this shit's personal. And we all know what Edge can do. You know he's going to bring that fucking fire when he gets back into that third match with Seth Rollins. This is great. I love a good home invasion. I really do. It's got to make sense. I felt like this feud was going nowhere for a little bit, with all the rumors of Edge being out maybe for a couple of months, and they'll revisit it next year. I'm glad that he's back. It's absolutely happening at Crown Jewel, and the home invasion here made sense. Excellent work by both guys. Really excellent stuff. Carmella made her ring entrance. She had a match with Liv Morgan. This match never really officially got started. Morgan was in the ring and Carmella was standing at ringside. When she entered the ring, Morgan attacked her. Carmella retreated quickly. She told Morgan she is a bitch and said that that is the last chance she will have to touch her face. She had two assistants outside, then put on a protective mask over her face. She looked like a blonde luchador. Fans chanted, "You look stupid," as she did look stupid. She entered the ring, attacked Morgan with a super kick. She slammed Liv's face into the mat, and she took the mask off and started laughing. And I don't know why we got this again. Why did the match never begin? Why did we get this match again teased on SmackDown when we had this match happen at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view? Nothing was ever explained. Why did the match not get started? The referee was standing on the outside. There's nothing that happened here. You could have easily gotten to the ring and rang the bell. Stupid. Nobody wants to see this again. Move Liv Morgan on to something else, for Christ's sake. I'm tired of the rematches. DeVille and Sonya. All right, DeVille and Sonya. Pierce and Sonya. Sonya Deville, who should be drafted herself. Round 3. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss are staying on SmackDown. Madcap Moss is staying on SmackDown. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Trash get drafted to Raw. Hit Row is drafted to SmackDown. And Keith Bearclaw Lee, they're great. Keith Lee, Bearcat, Keith Lee. He's staying on Monday nights. Now, I would have moved Keith Lee to SmackDown, to be perfectly honest with you. I would have moved him over to SmackDown. I think he needs a fresh coat of paint and a new brand. He's been on Raw. He's died on Raw. I don't think he's ever going to go anywhere on Raw. I would have absolutely moved him to SmackDown. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Trash. I would have moved Rhea over to SmackDown, and I would have kept Nikki on Monday Night Raw. I think Rhea needs a brand new show. I really do. Staying on Monday night is not doing that woman any favors. They could still be tag team champions, and they could operate on two different shows. When they inevitably lose those championships, Rhea could go to SmackDown, and Nikki could stay on Raw. I don't know why they both got drafted to Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley is dying 1,000 deaths in this tag team. She looks ridiculous. This woman has been painted as a loser. A loser. I would have absolutely moved her to SmackDown. And stayed on Raw, I would have kept Nikki. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss staying on SmackDown. I don't give a shit either way where these guys go. Just get Kevin Owens away from them, please. And then the most controversial pick of all of the draft on night one was Hit Row. That is Ashanti Theodonis, $0, B-Fab, and Isaiah Swerve Scott, being moved over to SmackDown. I have been a huge fan and advocate of Swerve, even before Hit Row was even formed. I said, there's no way anybody in WWE can look at this guy and let this guy down, man. There is shit that this guy can do in the ring that he makes look absolutely effortless. And the fact that they actually gave him muscle in Top Dollar, and they gave him Ashanti the Adonis, and they added a female presence to the group, and they gave it a direction. I absolutely loved what they did with Swerve because they gave him meaning. They gave him a gimmick. They gave him a shtick. Because before Hit Row, he was nothing more than Ricochet 2.0. And we all know how Ricochet 1.0 is faring, and I would have assumed the same thing for Isaiah Swerve Scott. JD Rush, get him the fuck out of here. Edgar in the chat, get JD Rush out of here. I'm not hating on Hit Row. Listen to what I have to fucking say before you start accusing me of hating on Hit Row. I don't deal with idiotic, moronic comments. Let me make my fucking point. Or get the fuck out. Now, where the fuck was I? Hit Row got drafted to SmackDown. Absolutely one of the worst fucking creative moves that WWE could have ever done. What makes anybody think Hit Row, outside of Swerve, is going to succeed on this roster? And I'll tell you what, Swerve right now is on the precipice of failing because of WWE creative. Hit Row was moved to SmackDown for one reason and one reason only, and that is because WWE is very uncool. WWE is so out of touch with the current youthful audience trying to watch this show. Nothing about this show is cool. Nothing about this show is in. Nothing about this show is hip at all. Hit Row was moved to SmackDown to not benefit Isaiah Swerve Scott, B-Fab, Top Dollar, and Ashanti the Adonis. Hit Row was moved to SmackDown to get that black audience watching SmackDown, to get that youthful audience watching SmackDown, to get that youthful audience watching WWE. That is it. And to me, that's a shit fucking move, because what you did was ultimately take a group that wasn't even out of the incubation phase in NXT, and you're putting them on SmackDown to ultimately fail, is what you're doing. Isaiah Swerve Scott is the best thing to come out of NXT, or at least one of the best things to come out of the current version of NXT. And now what you've done is you strapped him with B-Fab, Top Dollar, and Ashanti the Adonis, and you're expecting him to carry the load for three guys, for two guys and one female, for three people that aren't ready for the main roster, and the weight of every single one of them will drag Swerve down, and the group will end up like fucking Sanity. JD Rush, go fuck yourself, because you know I'm right. Now you're benched in the chat, and you have nothing to say as far as a rebuttal goes on my take here. WWE is fucking stupid. B-Fab almost killed herself on Tuesday night. She can't even throw a fucking drop kick correctly. And you're putting this woman on the main roster? You know, rapping skills and cutting rhymes and lyrics can only get you so far. If you don't cut it in the ring against a Toni Storm, a Shotzi Blackheart, a Tegan Nox, a Sasha Banks, a Bianca Belair, a Charlotte Flair, where's she gonna go? She's no better than fucking Dana Brooke. Yet you want her on the main roster. So you're not really for Hit Row. Ashanti the Adonis, I'm not really familiar with him. I've seen him wrestle on NXT. He was a mainstay on 205 Live for a little bit. Where's he going? He fits the mold of everything that WWE doesn't want. Top Dollar can't even spell the word wrestle, yet you're putting him on the fucking show. Have you seen the guy run? Have you seen the guy move? His hand-eye coordination in the ring is dreadful. Dreadful. Can't run the ropes correctly. He doesn't even know how to do the basic of basics. Yet you're putting him on SmackDown to wrestle who? To wrestle who? I thought Vince McMahon wanted ready-made individuals on his show. Yet he's calling up Hit Row and putting them on SmackDown because of what? WWE benefited Hit Row. WWE wants one thing out of Hit Row, and that's the only thing that they want out of Hit Row. As far as I'm concerned, Hit Row was another Triple H fucking project that Vince McMahon is gonna fucking kill. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Triple H put every single fucking resource into giving every one of these guys a spot on NXT and give them meaning. Triple H is not there anymore. Triple H is not in power. You don't mean to tell me that this is another Vince McMahon dick move? Give me a fucking break with this shit, man. Whoever enjoys this fucking move and praises this move, you are a complete fucking fool. They needed at least another 18 months in NXT. Swerve got the short end of the stick. Won that NXT North American Championship. Tell me exactly what he's done with the North American Championship. WWE's taken the North American Championship away from Triple H, who made it one of the most prestigious titles in all the fucking company, and it's no better than the 24/7 title. The lack of care for talent here is absolutely fucking disgusting. Disgusting. I can't stand for this shit. I can't. I will not support Hit Row on the main roster. Shit Row is what they're going to end up being. Death Row is what they're looking at when they walk into SmackDown. Give me a fucking break, man. At least another 18 months. You know who would have probably been a better call-up than Hit Row? Legado del Fantasma would have been a better call-up than Hit Row. At least Santos Escobar, Raul Mendoza, and fucking what's his name? Joaquin Wilde, at least they could wrestle. But they don't fit the mold of WWE. They're too midget. I'd even take Carmen Electra over there. Electra Lopez. I would have taken her any day of the week over B-Fab. B-Fab could be good, man. You can't pull somebody out of fucking 2 weeks on TV and call them up to the main roster. Legado del Fantasma would have been a better call-up than Hit Row. Mark my words. Santos has been ready. Santos is fucking awesome. Those guys could have did damage. Hit Row? Give me a break, man. You want to appease that nice little demographic, right? What you did was fucking kill them. The last thing that Triple H put together on NXT was Hit Row. The last fucking thing before he was removed from power. You mean to tell me this isn't a political move? In many ways. Sorry to tell you, folks. It's just the way it is. Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Otis, and Chad Gable versus the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. That's nice. That's nice. WWE. They gave you the list of rules. They gave you the list of rules before the show actually went live. The draft rules state that the moves in the draft do not take effect until October 22nd. I guess WWE didn't give a fuck when they sent the New Day out there who just got drafted to SmackDown. They should have waited until October 22nd because from what I understand, the rules of the draft state that even though they get drafted to the show, they still have obligations to fulfill on Monday Night Raw. But I guess WWE didn't give a shit as they sent them out here in this match. But what the fuck do I know? Maybe I'm just too smart. So we got this match, New Day and the Street Profits win. New Day gave Roode a double team move where Xavier left off the top rope, double stomp across Kofi's knee, and that was pretty much it. WWE has 10 tag teams on the main roster. 10 tag teams on the main roster. And WWE is going to do the same thing that they've done every single draft and every single shakeup. They will split these teams into 2 shows and call 4 or 5 teams an actual division. These are the list of tag teams in WWE right now. Mason T-Bar. Unfortunately, I have to call them Mason T-Bar. I'd get rid of Mace, send him back down to NXT, and I'd turn T-Bar back into Dominik Dijakovic and put him right in the mid-card. But I can't do that. Because this is what they are, unfortunately, set to do on Monday Night Raw. Alpha Academy, Gable and Otis, the Usos, the New Day, Mansoor and Mustafa Ali, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, Rated RK Bro until they break up, the Viking Raiders, the Street Profits, and Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. We also have AJ Styles and Omos. I don't see that being a tag team forever. They're not a real tag team, so fuck them. The Lucha House Party, both of them have asked for releases, so I don't see them going much or doing much of anything on Raw or SmackDown. These are the 10 teams right now currently on the roster. Why don't we, instead of breaking up tag teams, splitting tag teams for the sake of doing so, why don't we just merge the divisions? You cannot call a division of 5 teams a division. You can't do it. I would absolutely set forth rules where all these teams can float between Raw and SmackDown, and I would absolutely do Rated RK Bro versus the Usos at Survivor Series, and I would have it be a unification match, and then from there, all these teams float between Raw and SmackDown. That's it. I've been saying this for the last 6 years. I've been saying it since 2016, early 2017. I don't understand you. This is exactly what needs to be done. It is not that difficult. I need to stress this again for the people that don't fucking listen to me in the back. A division of 5 teams is not a division. Rated RK Bro is not even going to be a team in the next 6 months. We don't know where half of these teams are going to end up. We don't know if Alpha Academy is going to be a team. We don't know if Mason T-Bar are going to be a team. We don't know if Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler are going to be a team. Then WWE is going to run into a situation where they have no teams left. They got 3 teams on one show, 4 teams on the other. It's not a division. Just merge the divisions, please. That's it. That alone would freshen up the fucking shows. That alone would freshen up the shows. Round 4 of the draft. DeVille announced Naomi was staying on SmackDown. She said obviously it wasn't her choice. Adam Pearce announced Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Booyaka, booyaka. 619. Booyaka, booyaka. Rey and Dominic Mysterio, they're headed to Raw. Sonya Deville announced that SmackDown had drafted Jeff Hardy. Excellent move. Jeff Hardy has done literally everything you could ask of him on Monday Night Raw. A match with Jeff and Roman Reigns as a one-off, sayonara to Jeff Hardy, would be actually something fun to get behind. Then we get Austin Theory heading to Monday Night Raw, and he was drafted from NXT. So gone are the way. The way in NXT is done. Austin Theory has the potential to be the next John Cena. He really does. And he's young enough. He's good enough. If they let him go, hopefully under the right direction, WWE has their next major star on their hands. There is absolutely no reason why Austin Theory cannot become a future star in this company. If you watched him work on the indies with Evolve, you saw his potential. That potential has gone away in NXT. It started out great. Then he got ousted in the speaking out movement. Then he got brought back. He was placed with Johnny Gargano. They gave him some charisma. They gave him some comedy stuff to do. He got that down. I want to see the Evolve Austin Theory on Monday Night Raw. That's the Austin Theory I need to see. None of this Joker bullshit. You got a sleeper pick, is what they said on SmackDown tonight. Going to Raw. So fulfill that sleeper pick and send him out there to kick ass. He could be really, really good stuff. Kayla Braxton interviewed Jeff Hardy about being drafted to SmackDown. Lesnar walked in and nodded at Hardy. Hardy said, you know what? Listen, I know what you did to me back in the day, bro. I don't want any part of you. Lesnar then said, hi, are we live now? My apologies for interrupting. Lesnar said he wanted to thank Paul Heyman for making him a free agent. All because of Paul, Brock Lesnar gets to do whatever Brock Lesnar wants to do. He dropped the microphone and winked at the camera. So that clears up that. Brock Lesnar is on both Raw and SmackDown. Because I'm sure USA Network and Fox made a big stink. USA Network and NBC Universal said, well, why does SmackDown get Lesnar? They already got everybody else. Why don't we get Lesnar? So Lesnar's a free agent, more than likely to appease both SmackDown and NBC Universal. Heyman was backstage crying to Roman Reigns as Reigns asked if he's good friends with Brock Lesnar. Reigns asked Heyman if they are good friends too. Heyman said, yes, you are my tribal chief. Reigns said if they're friends, he should be looking out for him and his family. Reigns asked, where are the Usos ending up? As if Paul Heyman knew. Heyman said they'll be drafted to SmackDown on Friday. Or on Monday, rather, on Raw. Heyman assured Reigns, I am the wise man. Heyman turned to the Usos and laughed. He thinks he's the wise man. And then Reigns looked over at Heyman. You are the wise man when I tell you you are the wise man. Reigns says they can stick to the strategy and the plan. He told Heyman, I want you to go to Monday Night Raw and be sure both Jimmy and Jay are drafted to SmackDown. He asked Heyman if he understands. Heyman said yes, with tears in his eyes. Thank you, my tribal chief, said Paul Heyman. He asked Heyman if he understands. Yes. And before leaving, Reigns says he wanted the Usos to go with Paul Heyman to make it very clear that if they are drafted to Raw, I want you to leave him dead on Monday night. So there you go. And I mentioned this before, man. You know, I didn't really agree with the WWE breaking up the New Day once again. I don't think, with Big E being the WWE champion, that Xavier and Kofi needed to be drafted back to SmackDown. I don't think that was the right move at all. But what I think WWE could do if they wanted to have some fun is get Paul Heyman on Raw, have him fail at getting Roman what he wants, have the Usos drafted to Monday Night Raw, and Roman Reigns facilitates a trade because he's Roman Reigns, where they send the New Day back over to Monday Night Raw for exchange in the Usos. So we get the New Day back over to Monday Night Raw, and we get the Usos back over on SmackDown. I thought that segment was great, and it really sets the stage for what Paul Heyman is going to do on Monday. He's either going to do what Roman says, or he's going to fail. And it sets up the possible failure in him not getting the job done. And it's really going to teeter back and forth on if he's going to stay with Roman. Is he going to be able to stomach this anymore? Or if he's going to end up with Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar is going to be a free agent. And he can do whatever he wants. And he's a free agent because Paul Heyman said Brock wanted to be a free agent. He lobbied for Lesnar to be a free agent. So again, that's another nice little caveat there. Lesnar can do whatever he wants because of Paul Heyman. So Lesnar threw it out there and teasing that they're still in cahoots. It's a great storyline, man. I'm loving what's going on here. Loving what's going on. Main event, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. This is a WrestleMania rematch. The two had the spotlight in the main event in Baltimore. This was a very good match that was brought down by Becky Lynch being on commentary. Becky Lynch being on commentary, stuttering over her words with her ridiculous accent and her fucking big fur coat and her obnoxious glasses and her taking away, me, and Becky, main event and all this shit. The man. I don't know. I'm not here to listen to this fucking bitch. I'm here to listen to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee call a WrestleMania rematch with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Becky Lynch on commentary completely took me out of everything Sasha and Bianca were doing in the ring. I don't know why WWE goes back to the formulaic shit of having talent out there that's in the middle of storylines, talent out there on commentary, not making anything better at all. It sucks. So Becky Lynch is out there. Banks hit a Hurricane Rana. And she took Belair down with an early advantage. She went for a monkey flip. Belair landed on her feet. Belair caught Banks, lifted her up in a press slam. She kind of dropped Sasha Banks, and it looked a little sloppy. She went for the KOD, but Banks landed on her feet. And Belair then rocked Banks with the clothesline, sent her to the floor. The clothesline looked fucking nasty. So we got a commercial break. Belair and Banks fought on the top turnbuckle. Banks pushed Belair off. She landed on her feet. Banks hit a meteor for a near fall. Belair fought back, hit a vertical suplex, followed up with a handspring moonsault, went for a cover, only got a 2 count. Banks recovered and sent the back of Belair's head into the turnbuckle. Banks hit a huge DDT for a near fall. She followed up with a frog splash off the top, went for another 2 count. They landed up on the apron, and Belair went for a KOD. Banks slipped out of the ring, went for a sunset bomb to the floor. Belair blocked the move and did a backflip to the floor. She almost collided with Becky Lynch, who was sitting down at the commentary table. They got in each other's face. Belair dropped Banks against the barricade, rolled her back in the ring. As Belair was trying to get back in the ring, Becky Lynch got up from her seat, grabbed Belair's braid, which allowed Banks to roll her up behind the referee's back. Referee did not see Becky Lynch interfere in this thing. Banks rolled Belair up. 1, 2, 3, and Banks wins the match. Not exactly their WrestleMania match, but Sasha Banks gets her first victory back since being out since SummerSlam. After the match, Charlotte Flair ran out, attacked Banks and Belair with big boots. Flair posed with the Raw Women's title while Lynch posed with the SmackDown title as SmackDown went off the air. Now, I assume this is going to be a situation where WWE, like I said before, has Charlotte, the Raw Women's Champion, on SmackDown. Becky Lynch is inevitably going to go to Monday Night Raw with the SmackDown title. They'll probably just end up switching titles and I'll take this one and you take this one type of deal, which is fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, as far as the women's roster is concerned, I gave you guys a little glimpse of what I do with the tag team. I gave you guys a glimpse as to what I do with some of the ladies here, like Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash. Charlotte's on SmackDown. I would have actually kept Charlotte on Raw. I really would have kept Charlotte on Raw. Fox X for Charlotte. They got Charlotte. I would have kept Charlotte on Raw. I would have sent Sasha to Raw, which we could still get on Monday. I'm sending Sasha to Raw. Becky Lynch, I would have kept on SmackDown. And just for the simple fact of Charlotte and Becky, being that they're both Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions, there's no reason why they should be drafted to the other show. I don't get it. In fact, if I'm WWE, I'm not drafting any champions. If you're a champion, then you are safe from the draft. So I don't know why they wasted a draft pick on Roman Reigns and Big E when they should be set for the shows that they're on because of the championships that they hold. I don't like that rule. It's like a wasted draft pick for Roman Reigns and Big E to be in the draft. Or a WWE champion and Universal champion, whoever they may be, when the draft comes around to be drafted in the draft. Stupid. So I would have kept Charlotte on Raw, Becky on SmackDown. Bayley, I'm keeping on SmackDown. Bayley's probably going to end up in free agency, and when she's ready to come back, then she will be given a brand. But I'd keep Bayley on SmackDown. Now, I have in my notes Bianca Belair going to Raw. That's exactly what happened. Bianca Belair is going to Raw. I'm sending Asuka to SmackDown. Get her the fuck away from Monday Night Raw. Asuka needs to be on SmackDown. I would have sent Rhea Ripley over to SmackDown, and I would have kept Nikki Ash on Raw. Rhea Ripley is dying 1,000 deaths, not only on Raw, but being in this tag team with Nikki Trash. Keeping Carmella on SmackDown, them sending Liv Morgan to Raw. I would have kept Naomi on SmackDown, which she was. Zelina Vega stays on SmackDown. I would have sent Natalya to Raw. Shotzi Blackheart to SmackDown. Tegan Nox to Raw. Tamina on SmackDown. Get her away from Natty. Toni Storm, I'm sending to Raw. They've done nothing with her on SmackDown. Mia Yim, just because of the blue hair, I'm keeping her on SmackDown. Shayna Baszler, I'm sending her to SmackDown as well. Doudrop, keep her on Raw. Alexa Bliss stays on Raw. Don't know if it's going to be Evil Bliss or Goddess Bliss. We don't know. Eva Marie to the firing line. Get rid of her. Terminated. I'd rip up her contract. She won't even be a part of the draft. Keep her in free agency forever. Nia Jax stays on Raw. Dana Brooke Raw. Sonya Deville keep on SmackDown. Xia Li over to Raw. Aaliyah to Raw. Frankie Monet I would have called up to SmackDown. And I would have John Morrison on SmackDown as well. I'd pair both of them. And Dakota Kai I'm putting on SmackDown. That's what I do. Anyway, guys, that is most of the draft for night one. All of the draft, in fact, for night one. And we are going to go over AEW Rampage tonight. We are rocking and rolling in the venue, man. We got AEW Rampage still to come. We got 2,200 plus in the venue for a Friday night. Thank you guys very much. Get those super chats in, guys. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. We got 796 likes in the chat. I need 1,000, man. I need 1,000. So hit that thumbs up. If you have not hit that thumbs up, please make sure you hit that thumbs up. Tonight's show is sponsored by my friends over at Manscaped. Manscaped.com. And you guys are going to use code SCRIPT20 at checkout to save 20% off and get free shipping. The leaders in male grooming are Manscaped, man. Their 4th generation performance package absolutely changed the grooming game with their refined body wash to round out your hygiene routine this fall. Manscaped is used by over 2 million men who trust Manscaped for their shower time routine. And like I said, you guys can save 20% off by using code SCRIPT20 at checkout. Your boys are going to be oh so fresh and so clean when you start your self-care routine with their ultimate body wash, man. I have it. It smells fantastic. Keep the grooming game going with the Performance Package 4.0, man. The Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, and the Crop Reviver. Plus, you guys are going to get boxer briefs and a travel bag to hold your goodies, man. The 4th generation Lawnmower 4.0. It has advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. It's got a 4,000K LED spotlight for a more precise shave, and it's waterproof. The Weed Whacker is a 9,000 RPM motor, 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. This is going to get the job done in those little crevices, man, in your ears and in your nose. Then you got the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, the Crop Reviver Ball Toner. It's a mid-game ball check for your little pumpkins, man. And trust me when I say your balls are going to thank you. Plus, you got the 2 free gifts, man, in the performance package. The boxer briefs, which are fantastic, and the travel bag, which is awesome. I love the travel bag, may be my favorite thing of all, to be honest with you. You go to manscaped.com, you're going to enter code SCRIPT20 at checkout, man. 20% off and free shipping. Keep your pumpkins carved nicely. this fall season, man. Manscaped.com. Keep them fresh, keep them trimmed, keep them clean. And I want to thank Manscaped for once again sponsoring the podcast Friday night here, right here on Off the Script. Hit them up, man. Even if you don't like what they got, hit them up. Hit them up. See what they got. Makes a great gift for yourself, for you. Holidays are coming up, man. You're going to need gifts for your grandpa, for your dad, if you're a girlfriend or a wife, for your husband or boyfriend. It works, man. Manscaped.com. Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson. This was the open of the show. This was actually quite good. And I expected as much with these two men in the ring, man. This was awesome. And Bryan Danielson is going to battle the Elite. He's going to battle the Elite. He's going to get the job done on his way to Kenny Omega. And he wants that AEW World Championship match for himself. When it happens, I don't know, man. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to be sooner rather than later. So Nick Jackson, after a commercial break, hits a high knee in the corner. He bulldogged Danielson out of the corner. Jackson with some heavy kicks to Danielson's chest. He absorbed them all. He started leaning into the kicks at one point and then started asking for more kicks. He got up, he spit in Nick's face, and then he hit him with kicks and chops. Danielson hit the flying clothesline, laid into Jackson with some heavy kicks to the chest and shoulder. Crowd was starting to chant, yes. So Jackson was up, he slumped in the corner. Danielson hit 2 running drop kicks, typical Bryan Danielson. And on the third one, Jackson came out with a pair of super kicks and got a near fall off the 2 super kicks. Jackson went for a 450 splash. He was kind of off-key with it, but I think he was looking to land in a position where Bryan could get the label lock snapped in quickly, so that's exactly what he did. Jackson quickly got to the ropes. He rolled to the apron. Danielson followed and battered Jackson with some more kicks. Missed the last one and kicked the ring post instead. We were back in the ring soon thereafter. Jackson locked in a sharpshooter. Danielson escaped to the ropes and rolled to the floor. Jackson went for a kick on Danielson, who ducked. And Jackson's kick found Brandon Cutler instead. He was in the way, accidentally got kicked in the face. Danielson superplexed Nick Jackson on the floor, or suplexed Nick Jackson on the floor. Superplex would fucking kill him. Suplexed Jackson on the floor. Took out Matt Jackson on the ring apron with the forearm. Nick Jackson rolled up Danielson for a near fall back in the ring. Then we go to the end of the match. Danielson came back with a tiger suplex into a series of elbow smashes into Nick's chest. Danielson then transitioned into a beautiful cattle mutilation, and that was a tap out for Bryan Danielson. Very good match between two great professional wrestlers. Bryan's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. And both Jacksons, man, they know how to fucking move around in that ring, man. I loved it. This was an excellent opener. After the match, Kenny Omega and Adam Cole ran out to check on Nick Jackson, and Christian with Jurassic Express followed to make sure the Elite did not try to attack Bryan. Of course, this all broke down with Omega running away, Matt Jackson getting a kill switch from Christian. Cole got locked into a snare trap by Jungle Boy. Omega tried to run in and make the save, and he was hesitating a little bit until the crowd started to chant, "No balls, Kenny," or "Kenny, no balls." Kenny, no balls is what they chanted. So he ran into the ring, and he got a label lock by Bryan Danielson, and they both tapped out at the same time. And this is in light of the 8-man tag that we're about to see on the anniversary episode of Dynamite on Wednesday. Excellent stuff, and was a nice setup for the 8-man tag coming on Wednesday. Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs cut to a Ricky Starks promo that was more like a commercial, as if Ricky Starks was selling timeshare, or he was vlogging on vacation, or he was selling an Airbnb. I don't know what this was about, but it led to him talking about how much he hates Brian Cage, and then it led to him sitting on commentary with Excalibur and Taz for the remainder of the show. CM Punk had an interview. He started to settle into a groove at AEW, he says, and he's ready for whatever is next. He says he beat Will Hobbs because he was a lot smarter than Will Hobbs, but he survived Will Hobbs. He didn't beat Will Hobbs. And I like the terminology that Punk used here, man. You know, the word survived when describing someone like Powerhouse Hobbs goes a long way. Punk may have beat Will Hobbs, but realistically, Punk says he survived. And that word and that statement makes Will Hobbs into a devastating figure, makes him into a powerhouse. And I like the words that CM Punk used in this promo to describe Will Hobbs. Excellent stuff. Jade Cargill, Nyla Rose, and Thunder Rosa in a triple threat match. These three women have had a problem on the show for the last couple of weeks, and they're taking it out in a triple threat match. I'm still not high on Jade Cargill, as many other people are. I'm not. I don't think she's ready for what is happening right now in the women's division. I don't think she's up to par. I think Jade Cargill needs to do a little less flexing and a little bit more in the ring. I really think she needs to stop the fucking flexing, man. It's every time she does a move. I don't know if it's a nervous tick. I don't know if she's going to it just because that's her shtick. I don't know. Stop flexing. You look ridiculous. You should not be flexing with somebody like Thunder Rosa in the ring. I'm sorry. So, the match itself wasn't bad. I just didn't understand the outcome. I kind of understood the outcome, but at the same time, I did not understand the outcome. So we go to commercial break. Cargill was in control, and there's a trash can in the ring all of a sudden. Thunder Rosa regained control. There's a trash can against Jade Cargill against the ropes, who's laying against the ropes. Thunder Rosa bounced off the ropes and hit a missile dropkick into the trash can onto Jade Cargill. And that got a near fall for Rosa. Rosa went for a choke slam, or Nyla Rose, rather, went for a choke slam on Rosa. And she shoved Rose away into a spine buster from Cargill, which looked great. Probably the best thing she did all match. Rose came back and locked in a single leg grab on Jade Cargill. Rose broke that up by drop kicking Rosa. Lots of roses in this match. Apparently, I can't fucking speak. Rosa broke that up by drop kicking Nyla, and got a near fall. So Rosa went for a drop kick in the corner on Nyla, missed. Rosa and Nyla fought on the apron where a table was set up during the break, and Nyla Rose set up Rosa for a power bomb or something off the, I don't know what she was going, suplex or a power bomb, I forgot what it was. But Rosa turned it into a power bomb herself and power bombed Nyla through the table on the outside. On the other side of the ring, Mark Sterling slipped Jade Cargill a steel chair. You should not be slipping anybody anything into this match. It's all legal. Don't start slipping things into the match that you think are bad when it's actually good. So the fact that Jade Cargill's got a chair, it is all legal. There's no disqualifications in a triple threat match. Rosa tried to drag Nyla back into the ring, but Jade Cargill attacked Thunder Rosa from behind with chair shots. Most of them did not look good. I don't know what was going on. It seemed like Jade Cargill was struggling to nail Thunder Rosa with the steel chair shots. I don't know what had happened, but it did not look good. Cargill was beating Thunder Rosa in the back with the steel chair, and after 5 or 6 or 7 shots to the back, she went to go cover Thunder Rosa and got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. Now, I understand that they're high on Jade Cargill, and I understand that they want people to think that she's this physically impressive specimen, but she's nowhere near ready. She's undefeated. I guess that's what they were aiming for here. They put her in this match as an undefeated talent, and losing this match would have a blemish on her record. I guess they want her to remain undefeated. And Thunder Rosa, you know, it's amazing how this woman is everywhere and how much of an influence she is not only in AEW to the talent in AEW, but the own talent that she's molding with Mission Pro Wrestling and all the young ladies and females that she's molding at her own promotion. She's giving a lot of opportunity to a lot of different women. The fact that Thunder Rosa got pinned in this match, I am not surprised. Because Thunder Rosa, no matter what you want to hear, and whatever people want to say about her as far as her past goes, or how she's selfish and this and that, she don't have to do half the shit that she does, man. The fact that Jade Cargill pinned Thunder Rosa instead of pinning Nyla Rose says a lot about Thunder Rosa helping the younger talent on the roster. And I'm all for that. Because Thunder Rosa she's bulletproof. She can take a loss. It was a triple threat match. It's not going to really hinder her in the one-on-one situation when she's ready to battle Britt. So I don't mind it at all. I'm just not really up to par with where Jade Cargill is right now. She's not ready by any means. By any means. She's not B-Fab bad, but she's not ready. A win hopefully would go a long way, but I don't know if it's going to really make that much of a difference for Jade Cargill. I don't. Malachi Black cut a pre-tape promo from a stairwell somewhere. Who knows where he was. He's tired of the Nightmare Family and Cody Rhodes and is ready to move on to other souls in this company because there are many people on this roster that need to pay the boatman's toll. Man, this guy's on fire, man. You gotta love what Malachi Black is doing on AEW television. Sammy Guevara cut a promo about his TNT title win. There were brief clips of the celebration after Guevara's title win, dedicating it to Brody Lee. Guevara now has the classic TNT title back as Miro, and his white strap now go into semi-retirement. So we got the black title back, and Bobby Fish has been announced as Sammy's first opponent on Dynamite this coming Wednesday for the TNT title. Sammy Guevara versus Bobby Fish as Bobby Fish is walking through the forbidden door. Should be interesting. Give me Lio Rush versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. Book it now. Book it now, man. TK, you know what to do. Can you imagine a match between Lio Rush and Sammy Guevara? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We got a ladder match happening on Wednesday. A casino ladder match. Number one contender for, I believe, the AEW Championship. We got Pac, Jon Moxley, Andrade El Idolo, Lance Archer, Orange Cassidy, Matt Hardy, and a Joker card. The Joker, in my honest opinion, is going to be Adam Hangman Page. With Adam Hangman Page winning the ladder match and getting his title match against Kenny Omega at Full Gear. And Adam Page will win the AEW World Championship. That's my prediction there. Orange Cassidy defeated Jack Evans in a hair versus hair match. There was absolutely nothing to this that I took away and really enjoyed. Jack Evans got his hair cut. At the end of the match, it was nothing more than a clusterfuck, man. The Hardy family office seems like they are getting bigger by the fucking week, man. I am done with the Dark Order. I'm done with Hardy's family office. I'm done with these fucking groups that look like they can be their own wrestling promotion, man. I'm done with it. It is fucking garbage. Get it off my television. Half of the fucking people that are in the Hardy family office do not belong in the Hardy family office. Butcher and Blade with the bunny need to be by themselves. If you want to keep Private Party in the Hardy family office, fine. What does Jack Evans and Angelico have to do with the Hardy family office? There is too many people. Too many. Then you got the Dark Order out there. They're making a wall so that nobody can get into the match and interfere. And then we get an orange punch because of all the outside interference on Jack Evans. 1, 2, 3. And that was it. That was it. So Jack Evans got his head shaved. We got all of the Dark Order in there. And we got the best friends in there. They're shaving Jack Evans. Orange Cassidy first cut his big ponytail off. Then we got Chuck Taylor taking the razor and just trimming his hair. Then they shove him off the chair. Orange Cassidy sweeping the hair up. And then -1 and the Dark Order get in there. And we get one big Dark Order and best friends hug with -1 standing in the middle for a nice heartfelt moment that ended a very, very mediocre episode of AEW Rampage. And that was it. We got Jesse in the chat. I don't know why he's watching me. He says it was movie night with the family, and he just listened to me break down Rampage, and he knows all the outcomes now. Mojo Rawley is the Joker. No, he's not. Mojo Rawley is not the Joker card. Adam Page is going to be the Joker card. I would be shocked if it's not Adam Hangman Page. Guys, I appreciate you joining me on the podcast tonight, man. I mean, we were on fire tonight, man. If you guys did not enjoy that, I don't know what to tell you. The Joker is not Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's 90 days are not up until October 30th. Stop mentioning Bray Wyatt. Guys, if you enjoyed the podcast and the post show, hit that thumbs up, man. We got 921 likes right now on the live stream chat. If you guys have not hit the thumbs up, please go and do that for me. Go and get your t-shirts, man, on Bonfire. Another great way to support the show. Bonfire.com is the exclusive home of Off the Script. You guys can actually look at the bottom of the video player right now. You'll see 5 t-shirt designs that are there. The top 5 selling t-shirts on Bonfire. Go and pick one up, man. Let's start supporting the Bonfire page. Go and get your merchandise. I get these shirts made, and nobody wants to look at them. Make sure you guys go get your t-shirts. Support the podcast. Wear them to one of these AEW shows. Wear them to one of these WWE shows and support the podcast. That's bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Off the Script. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications and hit that join button, man. Become a channel member. You guys got access to the emojis you see pinned in the live stream chat. You got those badges that show up next to your name live on the post show. And you guys will be getting Off the Script early tomorrow. That is for channel members only. We got some super chats, man. It's hot in here because I forgot to put my air conditioner on. I don't really need the air conditioner, but I also can't work with the window open because everybody's going to hear me, man. Especially with that rant on Shit Row. Let's get to the super chats, guys. Let's start at the top with Rashida Talks Wrestling with a $1 super chat and no message. Rashida, put it in the tip jar. The bartenders inside the venue are working hard to get your cold beverages out on time. I don't need it. I don't need it. Issa is taking the week off, man. Jesse, you got to work the bar, bro. Issa's in Puerto Rico. Don't know what to tell you, man. It slipped right by me. She put in the request for the week off. I didn't see it until today. I don't know. Metalhead for Life with a $4.99 super chat. He uses a super sticker emojicon. Says keep it up. Brett the Man Hart, $2 super chat. Jerry, WWE blows harder than Vince blows Ahmed Johnson. Brett, I don't know where you get your information from, man. You are full of statistics, man. It's crazy. We got a $5 super chat from Jim. This was the weakest Rampage to date. Really wish there'd be less meaningless matches on Rampage. Keep up the good work, JD. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you, brother. We got Susan D'Ambrosio becoming a new member in the venue. Susan, thank you very much. What are you drinking? Metalhead for Life with another super sticker emojicon. Just keep it up. Thank you. Rashida Talks Wrestling with a $2 super chat. Carmella with the mask tonight was so dramatic. Yes, she was. Carmella is the most beautiful woman in WWE per se, and she's covering her face up because she's afraid of Liv Morgan. The gimmick is ridiculous. Jerry Ramey with a $5 super chat. JD, I like that Roman struck first, taking the fight to Brock. Roman's a badass, but he'll also walk away. There's no money in fighting on TV. I like that Roman hit him first as well, man. Says a lot about Roman. Brett the Hitman Hard with a $2 super chat. Says, Jerry, rumor has it Vince clapped Ahmed's cheeks. Listen, Brett, I don't know where you get your information from, bro, but you got to reveal your sources, man. Real Metal and Horror Fan 21 with a $5 super chat. He leaves no message. Thank you, brother. Don't be shy in the venue. You know it with a $5 super chat. Stop my music. How about TK draft some respect for Thunder Rosa and everything she's done for the company? She can't get pinned that way. Listen, man, there's a couple of things that can happen there. Number one, Thunder Rosa is going to put over younger talent. Number two, they may be setting Thunder Rosa up to get her revenge on Jade Cargill, because Thunder Rosa beating Jade Cargill and putting that first loss on Jade Cargill's record would look pretty sensible if it comes from Thunder Rosa. And that would propel Thunder Rosa to be on her way to battle Britt Baker. You got to look at the positives in it, man. I am not upset that Thunder Rosa took the pin. Cell Dweller Fangirl with an Australia-mite $2.99 super chat. Get Charlotte off my TV. Andrade, knock her up, please. Not yet, man. Real Metal and Horror Fan 21. $5 super chat. Been a huge fan and supporter for years now. Proud member of the JD Club. Thank you, brother. Love to hear it, man. Cell Dweller Fangirl with a $7.99 Australia-mite super chat. Von Wagner to SmackDown versus Reigns in a lotion in the baskets on a pole match. Vince and Bruce think it's good shit, pal. No. No, thank you. No, thank you. Von Wagner, man. I still don't know what a fucking Von Wagner is. John Alexander with a $5 super chat. I just knew Von Wagner Mania was going to run wild on SmackDown. I don't know why you guys are talking about Von Wagner, man. It's not Tuesday night. Captain Solo with a $2 super chat. Asking Vince to make sense is asking for too much. Bro, I don't know how anybody in WWE listens to my SmackDown review tonight and doesn't agree with all the shit that I said. Probably the most on-point SmackDown review I did all year. In fact, the draft reviews are some of the best reviews I do all year, because I break this shit down like nobody else. Coil Phoenix. She is now a member for 2 months straight. Thank you, Coil Phoenix. I honestly can't give a crap about this draft or WWE at this point, because I feel like they are destroying everything that I loved about this company. And the sad thing is, Coil, they will continue to do so. Johnny Georgia with a $5 super chat. I just dropped in to say, keep up the good work, JD, and that Hangman will win the ladder match as the Joker, which will be the excuse to challenge Omega. Johnny, you are absolutely on point. I do think that is what happens as well. The blue-haired cunt with a $2 super chat. I'm waiting at Starbucks for my caramel macchiato. I didn't know you were still alive, man. Ryolf Wildfire with a $4.99 super chat. WWE had at least one person in each round staying on the same brand. I don't understand why a person staying needed to be drafted. It's stupid. I don't know, man. There are a bunch of logic gaps in the WWE Draft process. I went over a lot of it in the show tonight. It's lame. It really is lame. Hoyt Reynolda with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, can you please explain that the next AEW champ is going to be Hangman and not MJF? My friend says MJF versus Kenny at Full Gear for the belt. Hoyt, your friend is an idiot. AEW is not booking Kenny Omega versus MJF. Tony Brown with a $9.99 super chat. JD, I'll admit, I'm old. I nodded off on Sasha and Bianca, two of the hottest women in pro wrestling. Good thing I can DVR. Also, I usually can scroll and find you easily for live shows. YouTube sucks. I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't know what's going on. I'm sure we were number one tonight. That's what happens when too many fucking people are on live tonight, man. Had to deal with a bunch of people. Coiled Phoenix 713 with a $50 super chat. Thank you, Coiled Phoenix. Hey, JD, not sure if this was asked, but when Roman is done going through Brock, Drew, and Dwayne, do you think they will bring in Walter and have him take the title from Roman? And also, are you going to do anything special to celebrate your 400th episode? Coiled, I have not thought about that yet. We might go live. Maybe we'll do a special Q&A. I don't know. But Roman will get through Brock. He will get through Drew. He will get through Dwayne. And whoever else WWE wants to throw in his way. Jeff Hardy, maybe. Walter, I don't want to see him on the main roster. But if you're asking me, could Walter take down Roman? Absolutely. I think that'd be one hell of a match. Akachi Ra with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, our new chant on this show will be Carsmella. Whenever we see her face after that stunt, she looked like a Pinto mobile. Bro, she looked ridiculous. And then he becomes a member 2 months in a row. Rounds on me. Thank you, Mr. Ra. Appreciate you, bro. Jedi Punk 85 with a $5 super chat. Was at the live Dynamite and Rampage in Rochester. Great pro wrestling and an awesome night of honoring Brody Lee and his family. He would be proud. The Undertaker with a $5 super chat. If I had my way, I would have formed the Ministry 2.0 with Aleister Black, War Raiders, and Rhea Ripley to elevate them that much more. Aleister Black could definitely have his own group. I don't know who would be in it. But I don't think we need to do something like that, man. He's fine on his own. He's killing it right now. But easily one of my favorite things about AEW right now is Malachi Black. Brett the Hitman Hart with a $2 super chat. Jerry, removing his hat is like Kane unmasking in 2003. It's probably a little bit more prestigious than Kane removing his mask in 2003, Hitman. Nobody wants to see me without a fucking hat on. Jeff with a $5 super chat. If and when Cody Rhodes turns heel, that will be his chance to challenge and win the world title. Calling it now. Love your show, brother. Cheers. Thank you, Jeff. I'd love to see Cody challenge for another world title, man. I think if he's a heel and he wins a world title as a heel, I think it would go over fucking incredibly. Young Lester Holtz. $5 super chat. MSK versus the Bucks. Bro, anybody versus the Bucks is money. Anybody. The Young Bucks are the best tag team on the planet. Cortland Moore with a $1.99 super chat. Nyla Rose, get off my TV from my grandpa. She ain't that bad, man. Not one of my favorites, but she ain't that bad. Frankie with a $5 super chat. JD, I'm excited. I got my tickets for Full Gear today. They are nearly sold out. But are you going to be here for it? Would love to meet my tribal chief. You know, Frankie, that's a good question, man. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'd love to be there. I'd love to visit Minneapolis, but House of Glory has their show on November 12th here in Queens. And I'm already missing SmackDown. And then Full Gear is Saturday. I'd have to fly in Saturday early morning, do a meet and greet, and then find some way to do a post show, man. It's going to be a hectic fucking weekend. I may just stay grounded in New York, man. Susan D'Ambrosio for the $5 super chat. JD, you were on fire tonight. You're 100% right with all that you said. Thanks for doing what you do. Love you and the OTS family. Susan, thank you so much. We got Mary in the chat with a $100 super chat, which I don't know what AED currency is. I don't know what that is, man. I seen somebody said that translated to $27. What is the AED currency, man? And where is that from? JD, love your reviews. I have a question for you. If HFO does ever get disbanded, what would you do with Matt Hardy? Would you get him in a tag team or keep him on his own? Mary, thank you for the 100 bomb in whatever currency this is. I would have Matt Hardy on his own until Jeff comes in, and Jeff is inevitably going to join AEW. The Hardy Boys are getting one last run in AEW. You can guarantee it, man. Guarantee it. Thank you for the 100 bomb. Brett the Hitman Hard with a $2 super chat. Vince threw it back to see if Ahmed would catch it. Listen, Brett, you do you, bro. Alex Moise or Mose with a Canadian $2 super chat. Bro, I'm mad at you. My girlfriend got a crush on you. Alex, I don't blame her. I mean, not many people can get the salt and pepper look natural in the goatee. I don't know what to tell you. Rob Baby with a $4.99 super chat. Let's go, OTS fam. And it's Rob VIP, baby. Thank you, Rob. Someone in the chat said it's Dubai currency. Mary is from Dubai. United Arab Emirate currency. Awesome. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Rob. Steel City Stoner with a $1.99 super chat. We need a JD and BC amplified collab. Steel City Stoner, you ain't telling me nothing I don't know, bro. Absolutely. I love BC, bro. I gotta hit up BC, man. We need to have beers. Many beers. Many, many, many beers. Guys, I'm looking at the chat. Why don't we have 1,000 likes, man? I mean, did I not deliver on this show tonight? I don't know what the fuck you guys... Maybe you guys just hate SmackDown. Why is there not 1,000 likes in this chat? Got 1,700 people still here, man. This should be easily 1,100 thumbs up. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do a good job. We got Edgar Estrada with a $100 super chat. Yo, JD, brother, thanks for another banger of a show. Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson was great. Malachi Black and CM Punk promos were fire. Everything else was Hope Big Hodge, Jason, and his family all the best prayers. Love you, Jerry. Enjoy some drinks on me. OTS for life. Edgar, you are an absolute fucking savage, bro. Thank you so much, man. Hopefully you and your family are doing well as well. Jedi Punk with a $5 super chat. Seeing Punk and MJF have a brief stare down on Dynamite makes me want to see them cut a promo together. Battle of the Pipe Bombs. Take my money. Bro, it is going to be one of the most epic nights of professional wrestling when it happens, man. I'm telling you right now. I cannot wait for that to happen. Maybe the greatest promo of all time. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD? Jeff Hardy versus Roman Reigns, in my opinion, tells itself dating back to WrestleMania 36 when Jeff was originally going to replace Reigns at that show versus Goldberg. Was that really a thing? I don't think that was ever really reported. Was that? I don't even remember. Either way. He's a veteran that can take a loss and easily feed Roman's appetite. It sounds good to me. Sounds like a dying giraffe. Jesse, why don't you go back and watch Frozen, man? I thought you were watching movies with your family. I need you to get up to Grandmaster Nightfall level, bro. What are you doing here? The Undertaker with a $2 super chat. Favorite metal subgenre. The metal I listen to is power metal, progressive metal, thrash metal. Progressive metal is what you're listening to now. This is Into Eternity. My boy Stu Block. Trivium has a new song out tonight, man. Oh my God. Holy shit. Was that a banger of a fucking 7-minute song, man? Thank you, Undertaker, with the $2 super chat. How late do kids stay awake in New York City? Bro, if I had... I don't know how old are your kids? They got to... How was your daughter? Was she 11? I don't know, bro. I'd probably say an 11-year-old, 12-year-old. I'd keep her up till maybe 10 p.m. 10 p.m. maybe. Listen, bro, Thunder Rosa doesn't approve of your children being up this late, man. Okay? She has children of her own, man. She would probably look at you and say, terrible parenting, and then give you a Hurricane Karana right through your fucking living room table. Get with the program. You saw what she did to Dave LaGreca. 11, 6, and 6. At 10 p.m., 8 p.m., for the youngins. Kingdom, bro, I didn't... Listen, man, I was maybe 6 minutes away from SmackDown, and I sat here in my office listening to it. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me with this shit. What a fucking track, man. Frankie, with a $5 super chat. Minneapolis is getting hot. Mall of America is saying they are down to do an AEW show. That's really something special. Thanks for all you do, man. Frankie, thank you so much, bro. I'd love to see Mall of America get AEW. He says, right, so movie night ended a long time ago, dumbass. Oh, okay. Jeremy Lewis, a VIP in the chat, says he's a horrible father. Bro, listen. You do what you got to do as parents, man. JB with a $2 UK super chat. Do you think if New Jack was alive, he'd be allowed in AEW? No. That's why we have Nick Gage, bro. Brett Day Man Home with a $2 super chat. Sonny's cat is really dry like a cactus. Isn't she on OnlyFans now? Isn't she taking bed pictures with fans in lingerie, I think, right? Is that what she's doing? Marcus Gunn with a $5 super chat. JD, I was mad how the match ended with Jade, man. I was happy she won, but she should have pinned Nyla. Guys, it is perfectly okay. Thunder Rosa being pinned is perfectly fine, man. None of you will lose sleep over Thunder Rosa being pinned by Jade Cargill. Sixers 205 with a $19.99 super chat. JD, my guy, it's been a while, but I'm back. I heard you're the Joker in the ladder match next week. Cat's out of the bag, guys. I'm the Joker in the ladder match next week. I will be going to Full Gear to challenge Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship, and then I will give my title shot to Adam Page. T?J. Quite the name you got there, bro. $5 super chat. Can't wait for Von Wagner to be drafted to SmackDown. Bro, Von Wagner needs to be drafted to wherever Clarice Sterling is. Is it Sterling or Starling? I think it's Starling. Clarice Starling. That's where she needs. That's where he needs to be with her. Thunder Rosa got Brittany over. She'll get Jade over too. See, Jesse even knows. See? All right, guys, that is all I got, man. It is going on 2 a.m. here on the East Coast, man. We are out of time. We got no more to go over, man. I gave you all of the draft coverage for night one, man. If you guys are in the stream, hit that thumbs up. If you guys are in the video after it publishes to YouTube, leave me in the comment section what you think of tonight's show. Follow me on social media, guys, at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Continue to join the VIP lounge. Hit that join button, man, and become a part of the VIP section. Working on some new artwork for the channel, guys. Just like the venue, we're going to add layers to this universe that we have here. It's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be another notch on the belts of breaking away from the formulaic shit you see in the community, man. Can't wait. My boys over at Deviate Designs are working on something. It's going to be fucking awesome. Twitter, Instagram, at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go get your t-shirts, man. Bonfire.com is the place. Pick them up. Seriously, go get yourself a t-shirt. Cal L with a $5 super chat coming in late. Missed the show. I'll watch the rerun. Just a little love, bro. Mustangs rule. Thank you, brother. Go get yourself a t-shirt, man. Bonfire.com is the place. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed. On the homepage right now, Off the Script, episode 393, covers the entire draft. We do a complete mock draft of the 2021 draft. 2.5 hours of audio content already recorded as of this afternoon, man. And go support the Patreon page, patreon.com. That is /JD from NY206. Also, Manscaped. Go check out Manscaped, bro. Manscaped.com. Use code SCRIPT20 at checkout for 20% off. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting in the Mustang. Windows are going to be down on this beautiful, crisp fall evening. I got my cold beverage. Hopefully you guys got yours. I need 2 things from you right now. Number 1, I need those guitar emojis in the chat. And if you got them, give me those Mustang emojis as well. And number 2, I need that music on max. I'll see you guys on Off the Script tomorrow, and I'll see you guys back live in the venue for night 2 of the draft on Monday Night Raw. I'll see you guys later.